Can I open the question to the floor, please? Yeah.
A microphone or?
Yes.
Great, thank you very much. Over the last few years, I've run 3 dual-fuel vehicles, which run on autogas, also known as liquefied petroleum gas, or in fact, for the sort of non-squeamish, in fact it's propane. You have a propane tank in the back. It normally costs around about £2,000 to convert a vehicle to run on propane. It is much cleaner. Your vehicle can be congestion charge exempt if it runs on, if it uses certain type of gas regulators due to the drop in emissions. However, it is becoming less and less economically viable to actually run a dual fuel vehicle that runs on LPG due to the increasing cost of LPG. It's taking longer and longer for the conversions to actually pay themselves back, almost to a point where it's just not worth doing it. Can I ask the panel, will you commit, can your parties commit to ensuring that where people go to the effort of running an environmentally friendly vehicle, there really will be genuine tax incentives to actually make it worthwhile?
Denzil Coulson.
Well, the answer is yes. I mean, that's the approach we need to do, to incentivise people to do those things, because otherwise behaviours are not going to change. I just want to come back quickly to what James said about the Green Deal. I do think it's a good idea, but I don't think the amount that Conservatives are proposing are enough, because you are also, of course, dealing with trying to re-insulate or encourage people to re-insulate their housing. In some cases, especially old Victorian housing, will cost between £15,000 to £20,000, plus all the rented accommodation that people live in, how they're going to benefit from the Green Deal. There are many questions. It's a good idea, but it needs a lot more thinking through to entice people to be more green.
Well, obviously, in these straitened times, it would be nice to be able to double it, but it might not be easy to find the money. But yes, the answer is I think I can commit my party to the sort of tax guarantee that you want to give. I hope I won't be strung up from a yard arm for making this commitment, or just ignored, I don't know. But the point about getting this sort of subsidy into the public arena, getting people to begin to build up an industry of home insulation, of more clean cars, of electric points where you can recharge your cars, is that gradually the price is meant to fall. Because the more you have of them, the more viable the whole thing comes. And so it becomes a virtuous circle, and that is the way we get out of the mess that we're in. The trouble is, I agree with Barry that buses in a rural world don't really work unless you have a huge number of them, and unless they come along every 15 minutes or half an hour, because people will simply go back in their cars. And you need to be able to rely on buses regularly in order to be able to make them work. And so that's an expensive business to do. And now is not a moment to go to a Chancellor of the Exchequer and say, can I have more money, please? But it may be now or never. And because of the threat that we're facing, we've got to deal with this climate change issue now.
Yes, again, it's the key thing about alternative fuels, whether it is electricity charging points or LPG dispensing points. It is important that there is a network that means that if you have an LPG powered car, you don't have to drive 50 miles to fill up. Exactly. It's rather makes it a bit of a nonsense, because you might be generating a little bit less carbon dioxide and more water because you're using gas rather than, say, octane as the fraction that seems to be the one that's taken as the mean for petrol-powered cars. But if you're burning more because you're actually having to do extra mileage, it's a nonsense. So both the charging network for electric cars and the distribution network for alternative vehicle power, they need to be built up. I think there already is a tax incentive on the use of gas-powered cars, because they're certainly not taxed per calorie at the same rate as petrol is taxed. But and I'm not entirely sure that they could actually be taxed a great deal less. But I think it's the network that's important.
Okay, thank you very much.